Hey guys, Wild Willie here. I thought you'd rather see a nice, kind of pretty Christmas tree than my ugly mug while I'm talking for a minute. I want to do an experiment, but before I do this experiment, I really want to just talk your ear off for 2 minutes and tell you why I'm doing it and everything else, and why I feel the need to share it, because this is actually kind of a neat little thing that I know other people have questioned about, and there's not a lot of videos on YouTube about it that I could find anyways. So, I decided I'm going overland camping, winter camping, in this winter, I hope to, in my car. So I went out and bought a decent, reliable SUV, all-wheel drive, plus it's got the locking center differential for off-road mode. So essentially a 4x4. Didn't spare any expense on, didn't short myself on winter tires. I bought the best I could. Put a lift kit on there, raised it up a few more inches. Recovery hooks front and back, traction, what do they call, fire track or something, traction boards for in case I do get stuck. We got winches, I got everything I need not to get stuck. My big thing is the thing I have problems with when I winter camp, whether it be a tent, whether it be in a vehicle, whether it be just in a sleeping bag, is condensation. It seems to be the thing I can't stand and deal with the most. I'm tired of scraping off the inside of a tent. I'm tired of scraping off the inside of the windows of a car. Just the outside of my sleeping bag. I can stay warm in my bag, but I hate the condensation. Now, reality is I can't run a big heater in my car. It's a small car. I figure 110, I rounded up to 110 cubic feet inside the vehicle, all right? And one of those things. I'm not going to run a heater. I'm not going to run even a buddy because the buddy produces moisture and it's way too hot. It's too big for a unit for that, my vehicle. So someone suggested, well, why don't you buy a starter and then just through the night turn on your car and run the thing? Well, no, I don't want to do that either. I needed a way to measure the condensation in my car and eliminate it, not just run a heater once in a while to help it. I mean, it does help and I probably will, but... So I come up with an idea, and I mean, I didn't see too many things online about it. I'd seen one video and it was kind of half-assed done, so I went out and bought one of these. I don't know if you can see it or not, probably not with the thing. It's a Honeywell personal heater. It's a 120 heater, it's a desktop heater. It comes in, it's called Heat Bud. Take the chill off. It comes in two settings, a low setting and a high setting. The low setting is 170, the high setting is 250. Now, what my thoughts are, if I take this out to my car and just plug this in a Jackery, charge the Jackery during the day while I'm driving, and run this throughout the night, will it get hot enough in there of a dry heat to get rid of the condensation? So I crunched some numbers, and this is what I come up with. Now, assuming my vehicle was just a tin can, no insulation, no nothing, it was just a bare aluminum piece of aluminum or steel. It would take 3,360 BTUs, which is British thermal units, to maintain a 10-degree temperature difference in that vehicle. So 3,360 an hour. With this heater on low and with my body mass, my body size on average, we are lucky if we're going to produce 980 British thermal units an hour. We'll round that up, even say 1,000, but it's not going to be that high. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is I'm not sleeping in a tin can. I'm sleeping in a vehicle that's somewhat insulated, soundproofed. If I put a thermal blanket across maybe the front driver and passenger section, or if I cover, thermal pane the windows with those things you could buy, I could probably come close to that 3,360 BTUs an hour. My goal isn't to keep warm. I can keep warm with a sleeping bag. My goal is to see how much moisture I can kick out of that vehicle and still maintaining a little bit of heat. So I think tomorrow, we're going to go for a test nice and early in the morning. We'll get up. We'll find a spot, I know lots of spots in the woods. We'll park out of the sun. We'll roll down all the windows. We'll get the ambient temperature, the outside temperature, inside temperature of the vehicle the same. We'll roll up the windows. I'll sit in there because it'll be the same situation as I'm sleeping. We'll plug the heater in the Jackery, and we'll let it sit for an hour. We'll measure the condensation levels and we'll measure the temperature levels. This will give me a good indication per hour, and even after a couple hours of running, the temperature difference I can maintain and the condensation level I can maintain. It might be a possible thing to do. My goal here is to totally get rid of the condensation, and a little bit of heat would be a bonus. Anyways, stay with me, and we're going to try this out, and if this works, this is a great thing. These heaters are great anyways for some very small bedrooms, bathrooms, emergency preparedness. If you're one of those that you lose your power and you're setting up a tent in your living room, well, if you have a Jackery and plug this in and throw something over your tent, like a plastic tarp or something like that, to make sure or you have a four-season tent, you'll turn it into a sweat lodge. It gets hot, and it gets hot fast. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll see what we can do. Alright guys, here's my heat experiment. You can see I'm using a meat thermometer right now. Current temperature is -1. My engine is cooled down. I have my windows open, except for this one, but I do have the back ones open. I got this one open right here. It is -1. It's been holding that outside for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I only drove my car for 5-10 minutes, so the engine out -2. The engine is cooled down enough where it's not going to play a factor on residual heat. So in a moment there, I'll wait another 5 minutes, see if this drops to -3. It says it's -1 outside according to the weather networks, according to the temperature on my car, but we'll use this sensor because that's what we're using for the components. So in a second, I'm going to do up the windows. I'm going to bring the sensor in the car. I'm going to just hang it off the back seat, not in direct blowing of the heater. And we're going to wait 1 hour and see the difference between the outside and the inside. It's supposed to maintain this temperature pretty much all day, not fluctuate. A little bit of snow coming in less than an hour, but that's it. So let's see what she does. All right, guys, good news. 18 degrees Celsius in here. We started on just under an hour. I ran this thing. My Jackery, I only brought a 240 Jackery, so I knew it wouldn't last long. This thing runs 160 watts. I'm gonna get less than 2 hours of runtime on this Jackery. I just wanted to try this. So it's 18 degrees Celsius in here, -2 when we started, 20-degree difference. The windows had no condensation on them. I'm happy. So to do the math formula and to figure things out, I'm thinking I'm okay to about -25. I should have this, I can keep this above 0 to about -25 here. And this is without insulating any of the windows. I am absolutely thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. The unknown variables were how insulated this car was. And I am happy. It worked out well, not including having to insulate the windows or anything else. So when I do that, I'm going to increase that even more. So I'm more than convinced that running this heater straight, for 6 hours a night, having the windows insulated, I'm going to keep this a very comfortable 5 to 10 degrees Celsius in here, up to -30, 35, and no condensation. I'm not going to have to worry about scraping windows in the morning. The inside, have to worry about the car sweating. I am thrilled. I'm thrilled. So for all you overlanders or people that are concerned about keeping your vehicle warm or your tent warm, try this. May not be for everybody, but for $20 for one of these little heaters, and this is on low. I don't have the battery reserve to run it on high for 8 hours, but maybe that'll change. But for right now, running this on low for 6 hours a night is going to do me perfect in -25, -30-degree weather. Anyways, guys, I'm Wild Willie, and I'm going to get trucking. Remember, it's not a question if this shit hits the fan, it's a question of when, so always be prepared.